I can't wait to teach you how to, capture your own brand photos in just a short 60 minutes in today's masterclass. So let's get started because we're covering a lot today. I'm just going to go over quickly what I'm going to teach you, what you're going to learn. So firstly, what is brand photography and why you need it? Because I know not everybody knows exactly what brand photography is. It's still a pretty new niche. Also, how to uncover your unique brand and why you need to define your brand. Super important, especially when you're planning your own brand photo shoot. I'm going to teach you what differentiates brand photography from other types of photography, how to tell a story through your brand photos, how to plan a brand photo shoot, and there's a lot of steps, I'm not going to lie, so this one's going to be super important for you to stick around and find out. And lastly, how to use your brand photos to make a cohesive online presence. All right, let's get started. There's a lot to cover today. So I have with me my water bottle and I have matcha, have all my beverages. So go run and get something to drink if you want right now. And yeah, get cozy and let's start learning how to create this amazing brand for yourself. So if you're here, you're probably sick and tired of your blog or your business looking unprofessional, sharing the same stock photos as everyone else. I know they're just on a plain white background, have like pencils and like office supplies and sometimes flowers, and you've seen one, you've seen them all, am I right? You're also tired of not being influential or seen as an expert in your niche, and you want to start landing those like speaking gigs and participate on those summits and really show your audience you know what you're talking about, but you're not just quite there yet in how people are perceiving you. You're also really tired of your audience growing at a snail's pace, and you're wondering what will push the needle forward. You're tired of not being able to document your life and your travels because you go on so many cool trips and you go to all these business retreats and masterminds and vacations with your family and friends, and it's so annoying not being able to like take good photos and be able to share that as content, because that would be amazing content to share online. You're also tired of your brand looking boring and cookie cutter and kind of like everybody else on the online space, and it doesn't feel unique to you at all. And then lastly, you're tired of investing in money and time into different programs and courses and coaches that didn't teach you what you really needed to know. So if that sounds like things you're struggling with, even if it's only a few of them, I'm so glad you're here. You're in the right place. I'm going to give you a solution to help work through a lot of these problems that, us online business owners and bloggers experience nowadays. So before I start teaching you, I did want to do a little introduction. I'm Jess Shuruk. If you have not heard of me or followed me or, seen what I've been creating online, and I'm the brand photographer and creative director and blogger at Shuruk Studios. I'm also the host of the Dream Chasers podcast, so creating content in multiple different ways. You can check me out on either. I'm also the creator of the course, the Brand Photography Method, which I will, give you a little more info about later in this masterclass. And of course, I'm today's instructor. So let me go to this next slide for you. I've been a brand photographer since April 2016. And in these past few years since I've been a business owner, I have created a repeatable process for brand photography, and I use it with all of my clients, all the amazing, creative entrepreneurs I've worked with over the years, and it's something that I also now teach in my course, the Brand Photography Method. I have also traveled and worked with amazing clients all over the world. Some of these trips are for work, of course, some have been personal, and it's been a fun and adventurous few years, that's for sure. I have made amazing entrepreneur friends from attending different events and being a part of masterminds and just connecting with people online, which has been such a eye-opening thing to do because I love meeting like-minded people. They're so inspiring and have pushed me forward and really shaped my, business path. I have also moved to Toronto, Canada since starting my business, which was a big goal of mine. My favorite thing probably is that I have a flexible schedule and the freedom that I always wanted to have that I did not have when I was working corporate. I did not have when I was in school. And I was just really, really craving that. So let me say, best part of being my own boss. I've become very clear on my own brand style and personality, which I didn't realize at the time was really holding me back. But now that I have that clarity, it feels so refreshing to just finally be myself and put my best foot forward and be authentic to me. I am way more confident now to share my message, my passion, my knowledge, and my experience, and actually be in photos, which I actually used to be so self-conscious and never want to be photographed, which definitely been a learning process and a huge transformation because now I quite enjoy it. I've also launched my podcast, like I said, the Dream Chasers podcast, and I had my first speaking gig, which is, again, one of those, goals that I've always had, so that's been very exciting. And then I've also acquired the skills to create any brand I dream of. Like, I just feel now that I've really created this process for brand photography, I don't know, I can start a food blog if I want to do it. I can, go branch off into the wellness industry. I can, document my travels, be like a travel photographer or be a fashion blogger or I don't know, just any business where I need to share photos. I just feel like, oh my God, I can actually do that now. And that is such an empowering feeling. But I did want to tell you a little bit about before I was an entrepreneur because life was not always this great. I mean, there's obviously, everyone always has struggles, right? And they still happen. But I actually was a late bloomer with photography. I started learning photography in university. I know a lot of people pick it up when they're, a kid. So, I mean, regardless of whatever age you are, let my experience, because I started when I was like 19 or 20, and you can learn it really at any age. And I started photography by taking photos of actually just my friends and making outfits and going thrift shopping, and I would style photo shoots with them. And I did this for many years when I was in university because I had a lot of school projects, so I kind of just did what I could to, finish my assignments and make, pretty good work. And then upon graduation, I was so blessed. I got hired as a marketing strategist for a fashion company. And photography was part of my job, which was really fun, along with other things like blogging and writing and planning events and, all that social media stuff. But in my free time, I would plan photo shoots on evenings and weekends with different bloggers, new models, and even business owners, because even though I was in corporate, I wanted to make my own passion projects come to life and keep really just doing photography in every spare second that I could. And eventually I quit that job because I was so determined to be an entrepreneur, be my own boss, and just start my own brand photography business. But when I started, it was not all sunshine and rainbows. I had no brand, a very ugly website, not gonna lie, a very small portfolio that I was happy with. I mean, I had a lot of photos that I was not happy with because, there's the whole learning curve. I had no business experience because I did not study business in university. But I had this huge desire for freedom, like I said, and I really just wanted a career that didn't feel like work, but it was, built around my passion. So I was just really determined to make that my reality. So little breakdown too, maybe you guys have felt like this, but in university and when I was working my corporate job, I was definitely not my happiest, not living my best life, as people say. But in university, I was always feeling stressed and anxious. I wasn't healthy. I was just always swamped with homework and working part-time as well and interning that I just didn't have time to always cook healthy or work out or have that balance that I really craved. And I just felt I was honestly spending a lot of time learning unnecessary things. Like, not all those classes were like straightforward and to the point, and there was so many assignments and tests that I was like, I don't know, all the info has now left my mind and it hasn't really helped me or had any effect on where I'm at now. That was a bit annoying. And then when I moved into corporate, again, still kind of unhealthy, still anxious. And I was also just feeling very unfulfilled, even though I was, a step in the right direction. I was getting paid to do something more creative, but I didn't really feel like I was following my purpose, and it wasn't completely what I was passionate about. And I realized that I was spending like 40 plus hours a week building someone else's dream and not going all in on my own dream. And I was just like, I cannot do this for the next 40 years. So that's why I started working evenings and weekends, really pursuing my passion and building up my skills, my portfolio, my network, so I could launch my own business. So during this phase of my life, clearly not that happy, not doing exactly what I love. So when I quit, I thought it was going to, again, be way more glamorous, way more fun and easy. Like everyone made it look online, but again, reality check. I didn't even spend a lot of my time doing photo shoots. My journey looked more like, watching a lot of tutorials, trying to learn things, editing photos, and being stuck behind my computer a lot. Like this girl in her bed, that was me, like all the time. And like also not having to get dressed up and go to work. I was just like always in PJs and sweatpants. So definitely not glam. I was, spending a lot of time posting on social media, also reading business tips, writing blog posts, trying to get content out there. I was networking, going to events and connecting with people through social media. I was also doing free photo shoots to try to get my name out there and pitching different collaborations. So really, when I was starting out, it was a lot of learning, testing, and refining my process and skills to get to where I'm at now. But good news, guys, it was all worth it because I have worked with so many amazing clients in the past few years. A lot of women, a lot of people who are so inspiring, also fellow business owners. They're also so creative and have so many ideas, and I've been so blessed to bring their vision to life through brand photography and just really capture their true essence. So this is just a little snapshot of the different people that I've worked with and some of the work that I've created over the past few years. So now that you know a little about me and how I started with brand photography, you're probably wondering, what is exactly brand photography that you keep mentioning? Well, it's not plain product photographs or portraits. That's why I started this whole business, is because I saw there was like this gap in the industry. I was like, business owners don't just want to have a headshot on their website for their About Me page. And if they are selling products, they don't just want them on a white background because that's not interesting for the customer. And being a customer and working in fashion, I was like, that does not make me want to buy it. I was like, what would make me really choose to shop or to purchase from a company over someone else? And that's why I kind of thought, okay, people need photos that really incorporate the various elements of who they are and what their business is. Just so they can, really tell a story and show the person behind the business. Because people, they're not just purchasing a product or service, they're buying because they like you and they relate to you and they aspire to you. So brand photography is kind of this type of photography that combines like your values, your story, your personality, your aesthetic, all the things you're drawn to. And of course, it's how you help someone. Whether you're, a chiropractor or a fashion stylist or a business coach, we show that through the photos and just create visuals that really set you apart from others in your industry. So as you can see, I put some examples of what it's not on the left, and again, a few more client examples from different women that I've worked with on the right. And I don't know about you, but I connect with them so much more. I just want to get to know them. I want to work with them. I'm like, take my money. I want to hire you. So next, why do you need brand photography? Now, this is a big question that I think some people definitely have, or at least they come to me with before they decide to work with me, or before they decide to take my the brand photography method course. So there's a few different reasons why you need it. First being, it's going to help you stand out in your industry. It's going to make you this red tulip here. And really, how are you going to stand out in your industry? Like, there's hundreds of thousands, like there's so many people online now that have businesses, which is great. That means there's like a demand regardless of your niche. But how are you going to stand out if everyone's using the same stock photos? Like, I know those stock photo sites, and yeah, they're great for some filler images, but you know, there's thousands of people using those same photos, and why is that going to make you any different? So what brand photography really does is it, again, like I said, it showcases your values, your personality, and your aesthetic to set you apart from others in your industry. It's going to make you so different from other people offering the same thing as you. They're not even going to be seen as competition. You're just going to catch their eye and be memorable to them. The next reason why you need brand photography is that it's going to build trust with your customers. Now, customers need to know and like you in order to trust you. And how are they going to, even know you or feel connected to you in any way if you never share about yourself online? Also, once customers start trusting you, that is so key, because then they are way more likely to refer you, and this is how you're going to ultimately grow your business. Next, you're going to be able to obviously look way more professional and charge more. So I actually wanted to show just another client example here. This is my client, Ashley. She's a business coach, and she's beautiful. She's so smart, so happy, so sweet, and she has this really cute little Insta feed on the left. She's taking a lot of, selfies or self-timer photos and, trying to figure it out on her own. And then she realized, okay, I want to step up my brand presence. I'm taking my business seriously. I'm actually building a brand. I want to do this long term. And yeah, we planned a really amazing, beautiful photo shoot for her that was so true to who she was and showed all the unique facets of her that you can see on the right. The photos are a little bit small, but you get the gist. So basically, once you start communicating this professionalism through authentic, high quality and recognizable photos, people are gonna take you more seriously. They're gonna be like, oh, this person's actually legit. And then that means now you can charge more, which is also a bonus, right? Because I always think of it like this too. You could go shopping on a store and they have, right, an online shop, beautiful photos, beautiful brand, online presence and all that. And then if someone were to buy something and try to resell it on Kijiji, and they take this really poorly lit iPhone photo and the product's not styled and it's just very low quality, there's a reason why you can't charge as much when you resell something and show that really ugly, unattractive visual of it. So I kind of always compare there's Kijiji and Craigslist, or there's the beautiful online shops, right? So which one are you really going to try to be and put yourself out there as? Also, I kind of say this too, you wouldn't use 3 different logos. That's not what a professional business does, right? You have one logo so people can remember you and start to recognize every time they see that logo, they think of you. So why would you use multiple styles of photography that are all kind of edited differently and different quality and all that? You want it to be seamless, cohesive, recognizable. That's when you're actually starting to build a brand. And then you'll also feel way more confident in your visual presentation once you are showing high quality photos. And that's going to make you feel so much more confident to raise your prices, to charge more, to stand behind your worth. Next, you're not going to be competing for the lowest price anymore. Oh, thank God. Right? No one wants to compete with Sally down the street who keeps discounting her offer, right? She's always hosting these, little promos 20% off, buy one, get one free, 50% off, whatever it is. And you're kind of tired of that because you're also tired of attracting customers who only care about the price. And that's not what you want. I know you want customers that value high quality product. They value exceptional service. They even want, something more luxury and exclusive, because if you're a service provider, you all can't work with everyone, right? So that means you are exclusive. And if you're providing a product, your photo is really what's going to tell them that this product is high quality, because if you're an online business, they're not going to be able to feel it and touch it in person. So I put this little point in here, but be the Chanel in your industry, be luxury, be exclusive, be high quality, charge what you're worth. Don't be the Walmart that always needs to discount their prices in order to get people to buy with you. And lastly, this is one of my favorite points, but brand photography is going to inspire your audience. I always want to make people like fall in love with my brand, fall in love with my business. And I guess besides, I don't know, like I always just try to think, how am I going to make people feel that way? And I don't know, you can look here, do the photos on the left, make you really connect with these people, these products, make you want to follow them and find out more about their story and what they offer, or do the photos on the left, make you so intrigued by, you know, these different women and their lifestyles, where they live, their style, like what their interests are. And it's going to just make them, I don't know, want to keep coming back for more, really, because they just can't get enough of you and your brand. So now that I told you the importance and the benefits of brand photography, I want to tell you the first step, which is you need to uncover your unique brand. It's so crucial, because before you can even start to plan out the photo shoot details, you need to know what your product and service is. And actually, this is why I have these questions written here. So to really uncover your unique brand, I always say you need to ask the right questions. And I always do that with my clients by sending them over a brand questionnaire. And this brand questionnaire I also actually include in the brand photography method course. And I have a whole module that helps people really define their brand, what sets them apart. And that's module 1 of the course, because I feel like it's so crucial. It's such an important step that can't be missed. So the different questions that you need to ask yourself are, what product and service do you provide for your customers? I know that's pretty straightforward. Not everybody knows that. I also want you to figure out who is your target audience. And you can't just say women over the age of 20. You gotta get way more specific than that. Another question would be, what should people feel when they see your brand? What emotions do you want to evoke? And what colors represent your brand and why? There's also a little bit of color psychology in there. So in this brand questionnaire, it's 19 questions. It goes very in depth. And yeah, by the end of it, I have a very clear understanding. So there are also a few things that make brand photography different from other genres of photography. It's not just lifestyle photography. You can't just go and hire a family photographer to do this for you if you really want them to tell your story. And you can't just, pick up a phone and a camera and expect to get the same results as the photos that I've been sharing with other clients. There is something very important that you need to do, and that is plan the creative direction and the story you're going to tell. So I'm going to start with creative direction first. There's so many fun things that go into planning a brand photo shoot that really then put all the pieces together to tell your unique story. So the different elements of creative direction, I've kind of broken them down here for you. There's props and products, depending if you're a product-based business or a service business. There's the location and background. Again, if you're at a cute location, or if you're just like using like a marble tabletop as your background. You need to figure out the outfits that are going to be in the photos, hair and makeup. This is especially important, obviously, if there's a person in the photo. Also, there's posing and a shot list. So these elements all combine together, basically to make a very unique brand. So now, I have a couple examples that I want to show you just so you really understand how this works. So I have this client that I worked with. They're a bakery. They make vegan and gluten-free desserts. Their business name is Petite La Pen. And these are just a few of the photos I've captured for their brand. So pretty, I love them. And their desserts are yummy too. I love vegan desserts. But their target audience. So when they went through and answered the questions in the questionnaire and are really trying to get clear on their brand direction, they said their target audience was women living in Montreal, Canada. That's where their bakery is based, that are ages between 20 and 55, and they are vegan or have a gluten intolerance, or they have kids that have a food intolerance. So that does really, narrow down this niche quite a bit. And then their brand style they described to me was bright, airy, feminine, pastel, and they also love marble. So as you can see now in the photos, we started to, create images that really tied all these elements together. We, of course, used their products in their photos, and those hands decorating the cake, that's actually, the business owner herself. And it's showing like her process of how everything's handmade. These also, I like to think these images are very kid friendly. Like to me, they look very youthful, especially like the donut one. I thought that one was, cute and playful, but also just they're very feminine too. So they are going to be attracting, that female audience, and definitely in line with her brand style that she described, right? Very bright and feminine. And you can see we use like flowers as well to bring out that feminine touch. We use pastel backgrounds and marble backgrounds. So we combine a lot of the different elements in the creative direction of this brand photo shoot. Now I have another example I want to show you. So it's funny because I thought these two were so awesome to compare, because this client, they are Gâteau. Also, they make luxury cakes. So they're, again, a local bakery, also based out of Montreal. And they do have a similar target audience as Petit Lapin. They're also targeting women that are living in Montreal, aged 20 to 55, but slightly different. They're looking to, reach the people that are getting married or celebrating a big occasion, and that also just really appreciate fresh ingredients and handmade desserts. So they describe their brand style to me as decadent, textural, fresh, and they love rich hues and florals. So a very different brand style, even though the product is similar and the target audience is similar. So you can see between both of these shoots, these details that they're giving me really help set them apart. And like their products, I'm not gonna lie, kind of have a lot of things in common, like the drip cake style and like using different flowers and whatnot. But, now when you see their websites, they look like two completely different businesses, and they're going to attract completely different audiences just based on their brand photography. Like that's how powerful it is. It makes them look so different now. So once you kind of plan out the different details of a photo shoot, you can then figure out what is the story you are trying to tell. And I find every business has a slightly different story. So here are a few examples that I kind of will suggest to clients, or we see which one's the best fit depending on them. So first is how a product is made. Perfect if you're like the other ladies in a bakery. You can show the whole process from start to end. Or if you are a service provider, maybe you want to show your whole VIP client experience. Because people are going to be hiring because maybe you take them on a really cool luxury retreat, or you do in-person meetings and take them for drinks or whatever it is. Or if you have a very creative business, it's cool to show your creative process, like Alex below, how she's designing her mood board. I think it's cool because she does so much creative work, because she does web and graphic design. People want to know, how do you get your inspiration and get all your ideas? And then the last one I put is a day in your life. And this, again, suits people and different business owners that are really just incorporating parts of them and into their business, really, and really trying to tell their story. So Christina, we did this for her shoot. She's the one pouring tea, but we did a whole photo shoot for her where we just showed her day, a day in her life from start to end, and it was really, really cool. And she's she was at the time a web designer and graphic designer, or a brand strategist as well. Now she's, kind of shifted her business, but I think it still is very applicable, because this would also be a perfect direction if you're, say, a blogger and people are following you because they're really inspired by your life and, the meals that you cook or the places that you shop or anything like that. I'm also going to take a little sip of matcha, guys. My fave. Okay. So yes, like I was saying with Christina, here's an example again of the story that we were telling for her. So we did a mix of like a day in her life and her creative process. And this is something you can totally do for your brand. So we started with her getting ready in the morning, making tea, being in something comfy, drinking on the couch in her living room, as you can see, starting with the photos on the left. And then we progressed to her like getting ready, doing her makeup. She's really into beauty, so we wanted to add a couple of beauty references in her photo shoot. And then she started in her work day, and she's a very creative entrepreneur. So we got her saving kind of pinning different photos on her corkboard to create a mood board, got her working at her laptop, arranging different products on her desk because she was taking some photos for Instagram. And you can see we incorporated a few more beauty products and fashion magazines and things like that again to tie in that element of her brand. Excuse me. And then we also just got some fun photos of her in her garden that you can see the last photo there. And we got photos of her drinking wine, but I didn't have room to put a wine photo in here. But yeah, this is just one example of the story that you can tell. And I love it because all of these photos, to me, very visually cohesive. They look so killer on her Instagram feed. And she kind of like spreads them all out. But also it's cool because there's a few different locations here and a few different outfits, lots of different props, but it doesn't look like different photo shoots every time. So this is why I always stress, you want things to look very cohesive, but different enough that it's very visually appealing. And this is something that you would not be able to capture if you were just getting headshots done or just showing product photographs or photographing from like the same angle every time. Variety is really the spice of life, right? Okay, so next that I wanted to teach you is how to plan a brand photo shoot, because there's, like I said, quite a few different steps. So let me break it down, because these are the steps that I take when I work with clients, and I take a lot of these steps too when I'm doing my own content. So first step is to define the brand direction. Like I said, I use that questionnaire. There's also module 1 in my course. It helps define the brand direction as well. Step 2 is to create a mood board. Again, I actually have a whole module on this in the brand photography method course. And like the one on the left is actually, no, I mean the right. That's my mood board for my brand. And I didn't create this one. My web designer created it for me, and I love it. And I always reference it again and again anytime I want to design something like a sales page or send an email newsletter or spruce up my website or even just my Instagram feed. It's like nice to revisit for that inspiration. Step 3 is to plan all the creative details, like I kind of mentioned in the other slides. Like when I was listing out, you need to figure out locations and props and all that, which is actually broken down into step 5 and 6. So book the location. Once you figure out where you want to shoot, what really represents your brand, source all the props, whether that be, looking online or going out in stores and finding things, looking through your closet, asking friends for items to borrow. Also, I missed step 4. This would be hiring a photographer. So finding a photographer who can really bring your vision to life, or sometimes that means actually just having a friend help, which is sometimes what I do actually a lot now. I don't actually have to always, hire someone, that has a lot of photography experience, because I'm able to kind of teach them the basics. And I have my whole brand vision in my mind, and I know all the shots I want to capture, and I've planned out all the creative details. So I handle like the creative direction part and the photo editing, and I just get them to help on the day of the photo shoot. So it kind of depends where you're at. If you have someone that can help you, or if you're looking to hire someone, either of those works. So again, more steps. Step 7, book hair, makeup, nails. Very important when I'm working with a client. I mean, sometimes I'll do my own hair and makeup. It's not always, I won't always get that done, but I do like to have my nails done often. Step 8 would be to create a shot list. Never want to go into a photo shoot not knowing all the shots that you want to capture. You want to, make the most of that time that you have and all this, planning that went in. You're going to choose your outfits. So you want maybe a variety of different looks, sometimes some casual looks, some more formal looks. Gonna obviously have the photo shoot, which set aside a day or an afternoon to do that. And then the next step would be to select your favorite photos. Definitely go through a culling process. Not every shot's gonna be amazing or in focus or be the best angle of you, and that's okay. You don't need them all to turn out. just pick your favorites. And then you're going to edit these photos, which again, I have a whole module on this in my brand photography course. And it goes over like what I do in Lightroom, what I do in Photoshop, and how to use presets and all that. So again, it can take an average photo and really make it beautiful when you edit it and kind of tweak the colors and the brightness and the contrast and all that stuff. And then step 13 is deliver or share the photos. So yeah, if I'm working with clients, obviously I'm sending it to them so they can share it. Or if it's my own content, then I'm just scheduling it in and planning to share it on my social media and on my blog and all that. Okay, so there's a few more parts to planning a brand photo shoot. So day of the photo shoot, because obviously this can be a bit more of a high stress day. There's a lot going on. So I find the best way to stay organized is to have a photo shoot checklist. This helps keep all the details organized, right? So put things on it like the addresses of, the different places you're gonna go shoot at, contact info if you have other people helping you, so you can, text them, call them the day of. You want a list of clothing and accessories and props that you're bringing. That way you're like, okay, got these shoes, got this jacket, got these accessories. You don't want to miss anything and have to go back home or do without the day of. I also love to save inspiration photos and poses, or inspiration photos of poses and the hair and makeup. And I save them to my phone because, I'm going to bring my phone with me on set, of course. And sometimes when you're, photographing, if I'm in front of the camera, I'm thinking like, okay, what pose do I want to do? And sometimes I'm drawing a blank, and then, so I don't get stuck. I like to have ideas already saved. Or if I'm with a client and we're going to get the hair and makeup done, I never want to go and just say like, oh, we want, big curls and a smoky eye. I want to show like a photo so the stylist like really understands the look we're going for. And then, of course, have all your equipment charged, memory cards cleared. You don't want to show up with a full memory card and not have backed up those photos. So yeah, clear it, back it up, all that stuff, just basically prepping all the equipment. Or maybe if you're using, even an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever, and it has a great camera, but make sure you have deleted, certain photos or videos or whatever to clear space so you have enough memory on there to take a bunch of photos during your brand photo shoot. Okay, I need another sip, guys, of matcha. It's a lot of talking on my part. But yeah, thanks for staying with me and keeping up. I hope it's not going too fast for you. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, which makes sense because it's the step after you've done your photo shoot, and this is really when you're going to tie everything together and be like showcasing this amazing, beautiful, authentic brand that you've spent all this time creating. And that step is how to create an online presence. So honestly, I feel like this step's a little bit more straightforward than people make it out to be, but what really makes someone have a very beautiful, cohesive online presence is to use the brand photos you've captured across all different media. And I love how Shayna, one of my past clients, did that with her brand photos. She has a gorgeous website, as you can see. She uses them on her Facebook page for her profile photo and her cover photo. And she's designed a gorgeous Instagram feed. So go check her out, go follow her work. She's so skilled at design, and she does many other things too. So the different places that you can use your brand photos, really just like use them everywhere. But here's just a few examples. Of course, your website, Facebook, Instagram, those are the obvious ones. But you can also use them if you're on Pinterest for those little cute graphics people like to pin. And believe me, having a beautiful photo is really going to increase the likelihood of it being pinned. Also, you can put them in blog posts to break up the text. Always nice. On ads, so important. You want to have gorgeous photos that really represent you in your ads. You can also use them on things like event invitations if you're hosting something, business cards, those would be really cute to print out. In your email newsletter, which I always do this because, again, no one wants to receive an email with just text. Like having some photos in there is always fun and visually appealing. In your welcome packets, maybe you have an onboarding process and you send over a bunch of info to clients. Again, you can incorporate your photos in there. On thank you cards, and even in your email signature. I've seen people do this and I think it's so cute, but when they have their their email says their name, their phone number, their website and all that, all the details to contact them, they have like a little headshot photo. And I think using a beautiful photo from your brand shoot would be so perfect there. It feels like people get to know you anytime then you send an email. Whew, that was a lot of things. So if you felt that, after me teaching you all these things, you're still kind of wondering, how do I really capture beautiful brand photos? Like, I need a process. I wish I could just have a formula and something that makes it way less complicated. And I mean, I've hinted at it and mentioned it several times throughout this masterclass, but you guys are in luck because I have my brand photography course called the Brand Photography Method. And yeah, it's basically this whole formula that I've created, and it breaks it down so you can just follow it step by step and get the same results I do. So let me share a little bit more about it. You receive a lot of things in this course. So firstly, of course, you receive the course materials, which includes 10 different video modules. Yes, I've broken this whole brand photography formula into 10 different steps. All of them are so important. You don't just pick up a camera and go. And that means there's over 5 hours of content. I think it's like close to 6 hours of video lessons. So, I mean, long enough that it's thorough, but quick enough that you could, binge watch all the lessons in like a day or a weekend and, hit the ground running, creating your beautiful brand. Best part is the course is all online and you get lifetime access. And it's all self-paced, so you can watch it whenever, wherever. If you want to be in bed or be out or on the go, it's up to you when you want to learn. Unlike university, which was so annoying. Don't have to go in person to learn this or go to a class. It's all up to your own schedule. You also get course materials. So I've included things like the brand questionnaire that I mentioned to you, the 19 different questions. You can fill that in and answer it for your own brand or use it with clients, whatever you want to do. You get a PSD mood board template. This is the same template that, again, I've used for my brand and for my clients' brands. And lighting diagrams, because yes, in the course, there's a whole module on lighting, but sometimes when someone's describing you lighting, it's a bit confusing and you're like, I can't picture it. So I've drawn up some diagrams for you to see it. And I also included a few different bonuses to make the course that much more awesome and jam-packed with useful materials for you. So I included a 3-page photo shoot checklist. This is perfect for the day of the photo shoot. Remember how I was saying you want to make sure all your details are organized? This is the checklist that you need to ensure everything runs smoothly. And then something so fun I know you're going to love. I have the whole module that teaches editing, but I've also included 5 desktop Lightroom presets. So you can just apply them to your photos with one click and your photo's edited, and you can tweak it if you want or keep it as is. But I have 5 of those that I made myself that I've used on my own photos to give that bright, vibrant, crisp, airy, look to them. So let me briefly recap what the modules are, because like I said, there's 10 different modules. You'll learn a lot of content in here. So I have a whole intro module. Again, it's just discussing different benefits of brand photography, why everyone needs to start building their personal brand, and just like a review of all the skills you're going to learn after completing this course. And it's like a get to know me module. Then we're going to dive into the real meaty part of the course. And that's just this is one of my favorite modules and longest, and it's called Define Your Brand. It's going to teach you how to craft the perfect mission statement, articulate your offer, determine what is your competitive advantage. You're going to learn the 3 different ways to stand out in your niche. You're going to create a detailed target customer profile, figure out your unique brand style, and more. It's so in-depth, so necessary before you start planning. Then module 2 is going to be creating a mood board. So it's going to teach you how to turn just like a mishmash of all these favorite photos you have and really refine it into a beautiful and cohesive mood board. So you can then, plan this beautiful brand photo shoot. And it's going to show you exactly how to import your own inspiration photos into that template that I included that's part of the course. So again, so easy, so straightforward. Don't have to spend hours trying to figure out Photoshop to know how to do this. Module 3 is all about sourcing props and backgrounds. Sorry guys, my throat. So I teach the 3 categories your photo shoot, the 3 categories of props for your brand photo shoot that are really going to represent your brand. Oh my gosh, I need a sip. Okay, time for water. I give you an array of prop and background ideas, where to source props in different places I get my props, and just really my tips for thinking outside the box. And I show obviously lots of visual examples of props you can use in different backgrounds and all that. Module 4 is all about equipment. So I teach you how you can use capture photos with your DSLR camera or a phone. Either work. You don't need to go get a $1,000 camera, thankfully, to apply all these concepts in the course. But I do go over like different camera settings you need to know, the different effect lenses produce, which focal length to use in certain situations, and different settings for shooting inside and outside. So again, it's like all the go-to settings that I use on set. Next is lighting techniques. You're going to learn the pros and cons of natural light versus studio light, the different lighting setups, whether you are shooting inside or outside. This again includes those lighting diagrams I mentioned, and you can download those, keep them on your phone, so when you're out shooting, you never get stuck on what to do next. Module 6 is how to style products. So I share my top tips for styling products in brand photos, different composition rules when it comes to design. Again, not just placing things randomly. There's certain things that look better than others, and that make it, what's the next point, more pleasing to the eye. And again, I include lots of photo examples of different past clients and the techniques I used. Module 7 is posing and capturing photos of you. I teach how to make poses look natural and candid, how to capture a variety of photos from just one pose, which is, again, very handy. You don't have to always be changing it up. You can change where the person who's taking your photo is standing and the direction they're pointing the camera in or the phone in. I also teach how to move the body in certain ways that really flatter your body shape. Definitely important for me over here. And how to feel confident in front of the camera. I thought that was, again, just so necessary to include because, I mean, not everyone's like super comfortable getting their photo taken. I know I wasn't, but I think it's definitely something you can learn and become more familiar with. Module 8 is how to edit your photos. So I show you how to use Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop and the key features of each program, my editing formula I use on all of my photos, how to use presets, including those ones I included as a bonus, how to fix skin blemishes, remove unwanted objects from your photos, and how to edit your photo basically from start to end. And there's one more module, and that is how to present a cohesive brand image. So I go more in depth than what I taught in this masterclass, but I show how you can use them throughout your marketing strategy, the various ways you can use them throughout your website, blog, social media, newsletter, PR, and print materials. Yes, there's a ton of ways you can use your brand photos. I also show how I plan out my own Instagram feed, because I have kind of like a strategy to that and that I teach other people as well. And really how I use my brand photos throughout my own marketing and website. And then, like I said, you get the course materials, which includes a PSD mood board template, friend questionnaire, lighting diagrams, and all of that you get for $497. Or I have a payment plan option, which is 4 payments of $137, which makes it way easier because you're like, I don't have $497 in my account already. Don't worry, I have the payment option, so it makes it so much easier because then you can get started today for your first payment of $137, which is not bad, considering I've said the $1,800 value because I was like, these can all be separate courses. But I was like, no, this teaches one whole process. They need to all go together so people actually are getting results. You don't just need to learn how to use your camera. You don't just need to learn how to edit photos. I feel like people need to learn this whole formula that I've created so they can, you know, kind of achieve those results that I have with clients and with my own brand. And then because you watch this masterclass, you get the bonuses, which is the 3-page photo shoot checklist, like I mentioned, and the Lightroom presets. And you get $100 off by using the promo code Masterclass. So make sure you apply that at checkout, because that reduces it to $397, guys. Or you can still choose the payment plan option with the promo code, meaning the payments, instead of being $137 a month for 4 months, it's $112. So yeah, that savings is awesome. And what is the next slide I have here? Oh yes. So if you guys are ready to leave behind, you know, maybe you're in that toxic work environment and you're like, I really want to ditch this. I really want to start following my dream, building, you know, my own business or blog and following my passion. Or maybe you're ready to not feel bored and unfulfilled anymore doing what you're doing. Or you're ready to leave behind late nights researching all of these tutorials and still not getting the results you want. You're ready to skip this whole awkward trial and error stage, which, oh my God, I went through that for so long. So many of my early photos you don't want to see. Or you want to leave behind, you know, having embarrassing and mismatched brand visuals and having that kind of, you know, not so attractive Instagram feed. Or you're ready to leave behind slow AF growth, whether that be growing your audience, growing your blog readership, growing the amount of clients you work with. You're ready to just hit the ground running and go full speed ahead. Then the brand photography method is going to be perfect for you, because this is going to really get you ready to create your dream brand and, you know, put all these images together to just take you to that next level of business and growing your online influence. And it's going to really help you, you know, whether that be leaving the corporate world, if that's where you're at. It's going to help you turn your unique gifts into a business that feels fun. You're going to have the freedom to make your own work hours. Hallelujah. That's my favorite part. You have an inbox full of inquiries from amazing clients that can't wait to work with you. Also feels so good. You're going to start securing partnerships with brands you adore, because I have not mentioned this, but guys, a lot of brands are really wanting to partner with people that can just produce really beautiful content. And that's been a really fun thing too, is sometimes I just get free products from brands that I love so much, and I would have paid for their products, but the fact that they now send them to me in exchange for a few photos is amazing. It's like, oh my God, is this real? So yeah, another benefit. You'll also be seen as an expert and an influencer in your industry. I know that's helped me the more I've really created this professional, authentic brand presence, but it's also helped every single entrepreneur I've worked with. You will also start creating massive impact in the world, because you're going to have content to share that's going to reach a lot more people and spread your message. And then lastly, you're going to create a brand 100% authentic to you that you feel proud of. And I never knew how good it would feel until I started on that path. And guys, I want that same feeling for you. I want you to just really carve out your own unique niche and let your freak flag shine and show that through photos. So just to recap, you receive the brand photography course, the 10 modules, you receive the course materials and the bonuses, all for $397 or 4 payments of $112 when you use the promo code Masterclass. So there's going to be a little offer box off to the right if you have not seen it already, so you can purchase through there. Yeah, but oh my gosh, I'm just out of breath and also just so excited for you guys. Okay, so I mean, while you're debating, let's go over a few frequently asked questions. So I know people are probably wondering, is this course right for me? Like, who is this good for? And let me first tell you, it's good for a few different types of entrepreneurs. This course is going to be really good if you are obviously a product-based business and you know, always need to show what you're selling, but you don't want to be able to, you know, you can't always be hiring a photographer. You need to create content in between on your own and just be able to capture some really nice photos. This course is good for you. This course is great if you're a blogger, obviously, because you need to always be showing your outfits, your beauty routine, your lifestyle, your travels, and that's going to require a lot of like creative direction and know how to edit photos and all that. This course is also good if maybe you are a photographer, but you're wanting to shift and be more of a brand photographer and kind of market yourself that way, because you're learning, again, my whole step-by-step process that I use with clients, and you can repeat the exact same thing with them too. So that's like a variety of different businesses this is great for. What's another question that people have? Oh, equipment. What equipment that you're going to need. So I don't require people to have a DSLR camera to use this. Like I saw, there's only one module that's about equipment, which I do go over, like how to use a camera and all that stuff in different settings. But all of these can be applied if you have even like a little point and shoot camera, or if you have just a phone camera, because to really produce a good photo is so much more than just clicking a button. There's so many more steps, right? Like there's lighting, there's editing, there's product styling, there's the whole, you know, mood board that you want to create to really showcase the style you're going for. So yes, you don't need any fancy equipment. I do show Lightroom and like Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop, so that would be a useful thing to have. You can do this. But again, I've had people who've made mood boards on Canva. They're totally cool. Or just edit the photos on their phone. A lot of the things that I teach in that part are also things you can do on like a simple editing app on your phone. So yeah, equipment is minimal. I literally try to keep this so straightforward and affordable, so you're not spending thousands and thousands of dollars on fancy stuff. I mean, I used to be a gear nerd and like always want to buy the newest lenses, upgrade my camera, but now I use the same camera. I use basically the same lens. I don't have like 10 different lenses. I use the same one. I love the 24-70. Sometimes I use the 35, but other than that, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I don't use really anything too out there. And okay, what other questions do people have? By the way, yes, so excited for those of you purchasing and signing up and really committing to creating your dream brand. Okay, another one is you're tight on funds and you're not sure if this is the right time to do it. So I did want to share something, like a unique way of looking at it if you're like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. Now, I'm sure you're trying to obviously make money with this business that you have or this online brand or blog. And you might be feeling stuck right now. You're not getting the types of sales or amount of clients that you want, or a lot of, maybe if you're a blogger, you're not working with the brands that you want to and they're not paying you. So one way to start, you know, increasing that is to look more professional online, is to take yourself more seriously. And to look at this as like an investment in your future. Sometimes people, you know, there's really, I don't know any businesses that have started and have not had to invest in some way to, you know, start growing. So if you do the payment plan option, for example, you can start learning all these materials, all these lessons ASAP for just one payment of $112. And then you can start earning money from those results. And then the other payments won't be so hard because you're already seeing the return on your investment. Like, I mean, as a photographer, it's only like one client would pay for this course and more. So I don't know how much money you're aiming to make each month to make it worthwhile, but even if it's gonna like help increase your sales or increase your prices, give you the courage to charge what you're worth, I mean, that right there would be amazing. Like maybe you're someone who's like a coach and you're only charging like, I don't know, like $200 for your coaching services. Now imagine if you could spend 10x that and charge $2,000 for your coaching services, that one client would be such a big help with that. So just something to think about. I always try to think before I spend money on something for my business, like, how is this going to help me make more money and grow for the future? So again, something to consider. But yeah, I guess those are a few of the questions that people had. And I mean, if you have others, feel free to email me if you want to know if this is a right fit for you. But yes, the way to purchase it is off to the right. Or you can visit my Podia shop to purchase. But yes, thank you guys for watching this masterclass. I can't wait to see your beautiful, authentic brands and all the amazing photos that you're going to share. So yeah, thanks for tuning in and have a great rest of your day.